Good morning, guys. I'm at the 45th Horrible 100, a huge event here in Florida, and I have the privilege to ride a super bike, the Pinarello Dogma F. This beauty over here, if you saw a video of mine about a month ago, we got a few Pinarellos in the shop, and I ordered this frame to do a custom build to put these NV wheels, and I'm gonna talk everything about this bike, the geometry, the build, their ultra fast Talon one-piece handlebar, and I'm gonna take it for a real ride today. I've been riding for a couple weeks, but it's gonna be the first 100 miles I'm gonna do with this bike, so I'm pretty excited. But guys, looking at this bike, it looks stunning. Like, if the Italians tried really hard to make something ugly, they would fail, because they really know how to make something look really, really good. But it's not just pretty, it rides really nice, and like I mentioned, I'm gonna talk everything about it. But let me meet the guys here at the Horrible 100, and let's ride in this beautiful day here in Florida. Okay, we stopped here at a rest stop. We are 40 miles in already. Pretty fast group, not going crazy, but pretty fast, more than I expected. I couldn't get my camera out of the pocket much because of the pace that we were riding. But let me show you a little bit more the Pinarello I'm riding. So the amazing thing of the Dogma, it's a bike that's been around for many, many years. So it has been refined, perfected, ridden by many professional cyclists, teams, a lot of R&D, a lot of, perfect. So you have a frame that has a lot of history. So, and of course, the detail, the reputation of Pinarello, that is very, very good. So the new Dogma, the frame, this one it's a little thinner down tube. They wanted to save a lot of weight on this bike, so I built one that's a 56 that I weighed. I didn't weigh this one actually. When I get back to the shop, I will weigh it and probably put it on the video with these wheels. But I showed on the last video a Dogma size 56 that's equivalent to a 57.5, almost 58. So it's a large bike with the Princeton wheels, with the SRAM Red, was right in 15 pounds, 6.8 kilos without the pedals, because pedals can influence a lot on the weight of the bike. But it has a thinner down tube, better aerodynamics. They're on the fork with a lot of feedback from the pro cyclists. They did made a few changes. It is a little bit narrower. It has a little bit more, makes the bike a little bit more stable. I like this detail here. You see that the axle does not protrude to the other side. So, of course, looks really nice, especially with their logo over here, and also some bit aero gains over there. One thing I really wanted to show you guys is the size of this bottom bracket. Look at this. This is massive. And so the difference of, like, let's say the Dogma and the F series, because this is their top of the line frame. It's a lot of time put into this frame because you want the best ratio between stiffness and weight. So to make that, you need to really it has a similar process to the F series, but it takes much more time to refine it, to be able to shave off any weight from the carbon and still be a very stiff bike. And that takes a lot of time. That's why it's much more expensive than, for example, the F9, the F5, the F3. And I'll talk a little bit more about the F series more towards the end of the video, that are great bikes too. Now look at this bottom bracket, and this is one thing that I really felt on this bike. It accelerates super fast. It is a very stiff bike, so as you pedal, you see you're not wasting no watts. You're really pushing forward, you're really moving forward really quick. So up the hills that we're getting here in Claremont, on the sprints, it responds really fast. If you buy this Dogma, the stock Dogma, it will come with the Princeton's 4550 wheels. That is a very light wheel and great for climbing or on the flats. I decided to do a different build for this bike, so I put the Envy's 4.5. It's not the 4.5 Pro, that is a little bit lighter, has also the ceramic bearings, but these are really thick wheels, and I don't know if you can see it, but they're pretty thick. And I put these Grand Prix TRs 28. They look like they're 30s. Everybody's asking, oh, are these 30s? Well, because it's a 25 millimeter internal width, these wheels are pretty wide, so makes the tire looks pretty wide. These Grand Prix are the training wheels. They're a tier below the Grand Prix 5000, and to be honest, I think they're a little bit too hard. I've been riding the GP 5000s for quite a while, and they're much softer and grippier. I did feel a big difference on these tires, but to be honest, I didn't have the tires, the GP 5000. I ran out when I got the frame, and I wanted to build it pretty quickly, so I put these on, and I also wanted to test it. But I'm definitely gonna put a 5000 when these start to wear out. Now, what I really love about this bike is their handlebar, but the guy's already calling me, and so let's on the next rest stop, I'll share you about the Talon Ultra Fast. Yeah, lots of fun here. There's so many cyclists on the road. It's so good to see. I love doing the Horrible 100, and I love doing it to celebrate. You know, it's like one of the last rides I do, like big rides of the year. It's usually the weekend before Thanksgiving. I love this season. Hey Louis, this your second or third Horrible 100?
Second Horrible 100.
Second.
It's awesome. It's a good local event.
Yeah.
Right. So.
Yeah, and I want to say to you, Louis, how much you have improved. Super nice to see how much you have improved in these last years. I remember when you came to the shop.
Yep.
Yeah, you're doing great, man.
Yeah, thank you for that. I've been training hard to get better.
Yeah.
To be with you guys.
Me to be with you. Cool.
All right, take care.
So I'm having a hard time to stop here and share with you guys more about the bike. The guys are hammering today. But let me share a little bit more about the Talon Ultra Fast. So this one is a 100 millimeter stem, and it's a 42 wide. And they'll say, no way, this is a 42. Well, Pinarello measures from the outer of the drop to the outer of the drop. So it's 42, so it flares out a lot. And so it's pretty good, but on top is a 36, guys, going super narrow. It's the narrower that I have been, and it puts you in a very aero position. I thought I was gonna suffer, but I feel very, very good on these bars. They are amazing. Like, they're super light. I think I weighed it at the shop was 160, 180 grams, but like super, super nice. And I put the Super Kaz bar tape, and this tape has a little bit of cushioning, but it's more the grip, because I personally don't like bar tapes that are too thick. I think I lose a little bit of the feel of the bike when the bar tape is too thick. And like, I even prefer not to use gloves because I have a better feel of the bike. I'm wearing this today, like, of course, in case of a crash, you know, but even these gloves are a little bit too puffy for me, and also mostly because of sweat, because I start sweating and the sweat goes out to my arms and then onto the bars and then becomes a little slippery, so this gives me a better grip. But if you have a lot of hand numbness, a lot of times it's not putting a bunch of cushioning on the bar that will solve the problem. Usually it's a fitting issue, or a lot of times it's a reflection that your core is not working as it should, and you're compensating that with your arms. But this aero bar here is super nice. Now it only fits the Pinarellos because it has an oval shape. I show this on the other video that I'm building the bike. So you don't need to straighten the bar because it fits perfectly and it already aligns straight, so you don't have to worry about if the bar is straight or not. I didn't weigh this bike. I forgot to. I need to. I know you guys always ask, but for sure it's a little heavier than the previous one because I did put force and the NV wheels, and so it's a little heavier. And I did put the force a lot for aesthetics. I know this is a super bike and you want to put the top components, and force is a top component for me. It's just the difference between the red and the force is a little bit of weight, but I like that the force is black and how it looks here, and I think it matches pretty nice with the bike. The red is more silver, so that's pretty much the reason. But very nice. Also, the seat clamp is inside, so it makes a really nice aesthetics here. You have no bolts on top, just two here on the back, and it's flush. It's very small here, and it holds the seat post very, very well, and also saves you some weight. Also, they refined the front of the bike, and this is just a beautiful look at this, of course, to cut the wind. I'm revealing the bike and everybody's mad because, like, let's go. Let's keep going and keep recording. We're 60 miles in, 40 more to go, guys. Now it's the worst part. Now it's where the elevation is. Okay, now we're doing the second half of the ride. And this is the toughest half because it's where all the punchy hills are. So, you build a little bit of fatigue and then you still have 40 miles to go. We've done 2,500 of elevation gain and probably have 3,000 more to go. And the wind picked up. So we had a pretty bad headwind. Now we turn, it's like a side wind. Hopefully we're gonna turn left. It's gonna be a tailwind, hopefully. Alright, the horrible 100 is done. I had a hard time reviewing the bike because it was pretty tough. A lot of wind Not sure if the microphone will capture this, but you can see it with the trees. This last 10 miles were kind of brutal, but loved riding the Dogma. It is a race bike, so it's very good to, like, when you're kind of the group is breaking up and you need to do that little, you know, that small sprint to just close the gap. Performs very, very well. I felt very stable, even though the handlebars are very narrow. If you are, and I don't have like super wide shoulders, but if you do, probably would go wider. And I think the widest one on the top is 40, and that's a 46 bar because it flares down. But yeah, the wheels, the NV's SES 4.5, very noisy, as you know. You know what? I don't like silent wheels, but I don't like wheels that are too noisy. I think this is a little bit too much for me, but it rides great, cuts the wind. I like that it's very, very wide. The only thing is maybe the tires. I would definitely put the GP 5000s. I put the Grand Prix TR. That's their more training wheels, and I did feel that they are pretty hard and less grippy. The 5000s are great tires, and they're very grippy, very fast, and softer. I did feel that on the ride today. But that's it, guys, for the Pinarello Dogma. Most likely I'll be reviewing other bikes. The F3, oh yeah, I was going to talk about the F series. So let's say, hey, I don't want to spend 15K plus on a bike. I want something more affordable. Pinarello does make the F series. If you want the race bike, they also make the X. That's an endurance bike. But if you're looking for a race bike, the F series, there's the F9, then there's the F7, F5, F3, F1. There's different tiers of Fs, and the difference is, yes, the carbon's a little heavier, but the same concept, same, very similar bike, very similar handling and responsiveness, very similar bottom bracket structure, but a little heavier. And then as you go down the tiers is different wheels, different handlebars, different group sets. So you can go to a beginner ride, to a mid-range bike, all the way to a super bike like this one. But loved riding the Dogma. Want to take in some other adventures. This is like kind of my last big ride of the year. I think I don't have any other thing to do. I did the Sebring, and then I did the villages that I wasn't planning to do a hard ride, but ended up being super tough, and then the Horrible 100. So I'm pretty much done for the year. Paola's gonna do her first K, and I want to do a video on that, so I'm gonna ride with her. We're gonna do a challenge that's gonna happen in December, a few loops in celebration, and so you can do her first K. So that's gonna be pretty cool, but easy ride, enjoying now the end of the year. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of the Pinarello, and if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. And as always, I'll see you on our next ride experience. Ciao.